everybody, welcome back to Cash Bricks, and today we are doing the full minifigure review of the Daily Bugle. So let's get right into it. To start things off here, we have Peter Parker. Now, Peter does have a bit of a civilian look to him here, but the main focus of the minifigures for the Bugle is definitely the heroes and the villains, and more of the classic suits. So he wasn't supposed to be the most detailed minifigure ever. I do like the satchel here, and he's got a pretty generic look. It fits Peter Parker. I like it. Next up here we have Aunt May, and Aunt May has a tray of cookies for her accessory. She looks great. She's just an old lady, and that's what she is meant to be, so she doesn't need the immense amount of detail like the heroes and villains have. So, I like it. Next, we have Gwen Stacy, and this one's really just a reuse of a lot of parts. You got Ray's face there. That jacket is on like 17 other minifigures. You can't quote me on that, but that jacket is used on a lot of random civilians. I feel like she could have had a little bit more personalized look to her. She is just the civilian version of Gwen, so I understand, like the same thing I said with Aunt May and Peter, that they don't need the immense amount of detail, but it's just a hodgepodge of reused parts, and I feel like she could have had something original about her. So she's eh. I figured we might as well do all the civilians in one place, so let's just go through these. Their names are Robbie Robertson, Ben Urchin, Ron Barney, Bernie the taxi driver, and Amber Grant. They definitely look like civilians. You can tell that the Bugle workers did put a little bit of detail into them, and I really like that there's detail in these. And Amber, she's kind of a reuse of the MCU MJ, but it's okay. I like Bernie the taxi driver's style. He looks kind of funny. The civilians are okay. They're civilians, you know. At least they aren't a hodgepodge of reused parts like Gwen is. So, I like them. Here we have Betty Brant. In some comic book series, this is the love interest of Peter Parker. In the Bugle, she's just kind of a secretary to J. Jonah Jameson. She's a Bugle staff member, you know. She looks okay. I don't think that I personally would ever think of her as Peter's number one romantic love interest. I usually think of MJ, but the MCU kind of changes. The movies change the way you look at certain things, so she's okay. Here we have J. Jonah Jameson. That was me trying to impersonate J. Jonah Jameson. But J. Jonah Jameson is a really good figure. It's all exclusive and even looks kind of like the one that we got from a long time ago with the Tobey Maguire sets when Marvel wasn't even a series. It was just under this name of studios. He has one of the best alternate head faces, so I will show that one to you. I didn't show all the alternate faces because most of them are just panicked looks and they aren't anything to mention. But you got the spiderweb over the mouth, which is a reference to the Tobey Maguire films, and it just looks awesome. It's so funny. I love it. J. Jonah Jameson is a great minifigure. They gave him a pen for an accessory. He's awesome. To kick things off with the hero side, we have Spider-Man here. And this is a very good-looking Spider-Man. He's got the dual molded legs. Those always add to it. He's got the sidearm printing. Great Spider-Man. Probably the best of the Spider-Mans that you can get, other than the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man from the studios sets. That one is awesome. But yeah, it is a great Spider-Man. I like it. Here we have Miles Morales. This version of Miles is my favorite. Even though you can get him in the mech, I love the hoodie look with him. It definitely reminds me of the first Spider-Verse film, and they gave him dual molded legs here. He just looks good all together. I love Miles. Good figure. Good figure. Great figure. This is Spider-Gwen. Now, Spider-Gwen isn't exactly my favorite character, but she's still cool. I do like the hood that they have on her. It is the same exact hood that they have on Miles here, but it just looks better with her because Miles, you know it's a sweatshirt, and hers, you know it's kind of like part of her costume, you know? I would go to say that the regular hood piece is a little better on her, but for this version, I like it. She's okay. I like her. This is Spider-Ham, aka Peter Porker. Now, I love Spider-Ham, and this is one of the 2 sets he comes in. He is such a cool minifigure. Spider-Ham was so good in the Spider-Verse movies, and here's the thing. They don't truly give him an accessory in the Bugle. There's just like a small spider web that I didn't even put on him. But one upgrade you can do that I personally really like is you can actually build him a giant mallet, because that's just kind of how Spider-Man Ham is. And this mallet, it's pretty simple design, only a few pieces, and it gives you that cartoony feel that Spider-Ham has, you know? So that's my upgrade to him. It makes him so much better in my opinion, and overall he's so great. I just have to mention the back of his thing. The little spider logo has a pig and a little pigtail. Isn't that cute? I think he's pretty cool. Right here we have Daredevil. And wow, this is a great minifigure. This is one of the exclusive minifigures that can only be found in this set, and it is phenomenal. Daredevil is in no other set, so this is the only way you can get him. He looks amazing with the Black Panther horns on the front of his face to give him those Daredevil horns. His little pitons. The 2 Ds for Daredevil look great. It's just great. And yes, he does not have leg printing, but he doesn't even need it. That's how great he is. And now here we have Blade. And Blade is another exclusive minifigure that looks phenomenal. You cannot get Blade in any other set. This is the only one he's in. And he just looks great. The regular katanas work great here. The exclusive torso print is great. I just like it altogether. It's awesome. And here we have the Punisher. Once again, another phenomenal minifigure that is exclusive to the set. This is the only set you can get Punisher in, and he looks awesome. That exclusive torso print there looks great. His guns, we've seen them before, but this one is like a good little build of 3 pieces. It works well with him. He's got those dual molded legs, which are really cool. And his alternate face print is really funny because he's got a band-aid there, and I really like that they kind of keep it cartoony with a character like the Punisher, who's a little bit more dark, but for like a cartoony Spider-Man set, it's kind of funny that they have the band-aid on there. So I like it. He's phenomenal. Here we have Firestar, who looks great here. She is a little underwhelming with color-wise. She does have an exclusive torso print and face print. I feel like she could have used a little leg printing, but it really makes up for it when you have a build like this for her fire that can come off. That just kind of rounds out the figure. When she's standing on her own right here, it's a little underwhelming, but still really great. Once again, an exclusive minifigure. The Bugle gave us a lot of that, and it's awesome. Here we have Black Cat, and sometimes I don't really know what to classify her as. She can be a villain in a lot of comics, but there are times when she teams up with Spider-Man and can be a good guy. So we'll just put her right in the middle of the bad guys and the villains. She is a great minifigure. Could have used a little bit of arm printing or something other than dual molded legs, but the dual molded legs look great. She just has a whip for an accessory. She looks great. Exclusive, phenomenal minifigure. to truly start off the villains here, we have Green Goblin, and this guy looks great. He has full printing, leg printing, torso printing. He's got the happy expression, which normally Green Goblin has. On the other side, he's got a more angry look for if Spider-Man foils his plan. He's got the satchel there, which is great if he were to have a pumpkin bomb or something like that. In this set, he does not come with any accessory other than, of course, his little glider here. But, of course, he doesn't come with any, like, pumpkin bombs or anything. So that's a little disappointing, but he still looks amazing with this leg printing, torso printing. He's great. Next up here we have Mysterio. Mysterio, he looks good here with his comic book appearance. I am a little underwhelmed with him. I think he could have used some accessories. To upgrade him, I give him, like, some little bubble type things, you know, a little handle type thing to give him his mysterious vibes. He looks good here when he has the mysterious kind of stuff coming off of him. There was a piece introduced the year before the Bugle that they did not use. Like, it has all sorts of mist coming up out of him, and it would be, like, under his legs. I'm surprised they didn't include it in the Bugle. But if I ever get that piece, I will use it on Mysterio because it would look great with this. But yeah, he's alright. Now we have Venom. Now, Venom is a great minifigure. He always looks good, but here in the Bugle, they gave him all the sort of tentacles you can possibly give him. He looks phenomenal. Definitely the most menacing version that we currently have, since we don't have, like, a big fig version of Venom. But yeah, it just looks great. Here we have Carnage, and Carnage also looks really great here. Same thing I said with Venom. I do like that they kind of changed up the pieces that he was holding rather than keeping it the same as Venom, because Venom and Carnage definitely have complete different features when it comes to certain things. And this one, I like on Carnage a lot better than Venom. They even switched the long tentacles to the back, or to the top side with Carnage here, whereas on Venom they were on the bottom. So they definitely kept their differences, and they both look great here. Here we have Doc Ock, and this version of Doc Ock has got to be my favorite Doc Ock that we've ever gotten. The tentacles are probably the best build we've ever gotten for Doc Ock. They definitely look like a mechanical tentacle that Doc Ock would have. He's got two face expressions, one with the happy, kind of evil-looking face. The other one's like more of a miffed, angry kind of face. But yes, he looks amazing. Those tentacles can kind of move in any way, shape, or form you want them to. Whereas some Doc Ocks, you're kind of limited to certain positions with the pieces that they use. But this one is phenomenal. Definitely like this figure. To finish things off here, we have Sandman. And this Sandman is a really good-looking Sandman. I do not like the clone face with, like, what you get for Stormtroopers and Clone Troopers all the time. It's just, it's kind of boring, you know? It's really generic, and you get it in a lot of things. I wish they could come up with, like, an original face for him. The build here looks great. It's one of the best builds, like, to build up for Sandman that they've ever done. It's kind of like ripping out of the concrete, so it's really cool. I wish they did give him like a kind of like hammer type accessory, like to come out with and smash the Bugle. I don't know. He looks really great though with his stand. I always have liked this shirt piece, the one that has kind of like his shirt and the sand. It looks good. I like it. I just wish that he could have gotten a little bit more detail. That is it for the LEGO Daily Bugle minifigure review. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.